I hear you need a chauffeur. Come on in, it's a blast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TyTunes. This time we're reviewing Blxst, spelled B-L-X-S-T, but pronounced Blxst, his debut album, I'll Always Come Find You, which dropped back on July 19th. I know, I'm back. I'm working through the backlog, I promise. He's been on quite the come up this year, hailing from the West Coast. He's been on everybody from Kendrick to YG's album, but this marks his official debut after dropping some mixtapes and EPs. He's been on the come up since early 2020, around the COVID times, which is crazy. He is mostly R&B, but he can rap when given the chance. Now, this album, I'll Always Come Find You, is more of a concept album. There's little vignettes and stories at the beginning or ends of certain tracks, which really puts you into the world and builds the concept up of Eagle & Sons chauffeur service. You can hear at the beginning a director call for roll camera and the startup of a car, and after the first track, which features some fun 2 Chainz bars, we hear the father and son start to concept. Come here, son, come bend these corners with me. He gives the son 3 pieces of advice. Never be with a woman you got no business with, enemy disguised as a friend, and the man in the mirror. Basically saying all the problems that we have are self-created and we need to avoid engaging with those types of things. So the album is split across 4 discs, or chapters as I say, because who the hell pays for actual physical albums these days? I can't imagine this being 4 discs long in the store, but... The 3 dangers that the father mentions shows up on songs throughout the albums. On Selfish Ways, he's talking about should never been dealing with a woman that he's brought courtside or let her drive off in the Frog Eyes, the Porsche. I really like that flow or that flip of the Porsche concept. The vignette at the end with the girls chatting, it sounds about 3 or 4 girls, and you can hear the windshield wipers, and they make mention of the rain at the end. But this one is really cool because it's talking about the friend, the main girl, I guess, dealing with a guy that's on the come up and buying her cars, putting her up in a nice place, but one of her friends is just totally taking the piss. This is broke adjacent. And then they get out of the car, which leads us into Too Many Friday Nights. This is a low-key banger. This is definitely an R&B album, but it has parts where it'll definitely get you bobbing. Fat Man Scoop is on this one, just absolutely bringing the hype, as typical Fat Man does. Dance with the Devil is obviously another example of this, a woman that you have no business dealing with. Pat comes in and is absolutely in his bag. This one would fit very nicely on his previous Ventura album. You's a devil, still I choose to dance with ya. Yeah, this is a really, really good song. And then Bad Idea. At the end of this track, you can hear a group of guys talking about their plans to jump and snatch chains from someone. And then they hush hush, and then here he comes right now, Birdie. And he talks about his chain. Oh, check out this chain that my girl got me. And one of them says, yo, man, if I was you, I'd tuck that. So those are some of the examples of the 3 principles coming up, and I'm sure there's more. I'm not going to cover every song here. Reason could be one of my favorite songs on the album. Nice mellow beat, infectious hook, and I love the horns that come in at the end. Just give me a reason. This could be like a post-breakup / booty call song because he talks about his timing being demon, which is more or less like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we know no good gets up to at that point in time. Risk Taker, another super fun, bouncy song. This one really sounds to me like Sway Lee and French Montana on Unforgettable. In fact, I think it could be the exact same drum pattern. Offset totally slides here. He sounds like Ty Dolla $ign, which is funny because he comes in later on in the album. Private Show, super sexy. To put you in perspective, you hear a knock on a window and then the window rolls down and you hear, are you looking for something, honey? This is a crazy, sexy song. And about halfway through when they pitch up the tempo and the vocals, to me, it recalls, almost the climax or during sex. But this is definitely one of those sex songs. You hear the seats roll back and that's what he's talking about. It's a good one, but it's very sexy. Very not safe for work, if you will. And in 10 Summers or Better, woke up on a plane where I land today. This is the capper on the album. Very, very luscious, sweeping orchestra at the very end. Kind of puts a cherry on top of the entire concept and the album. It's all about that grind state of mind. I want this shit forever. 10 Summers or Better. You always got to put yourself out there and remain relevant. And the hard work pays off, or it's continuing to pay off as Blxst is really starting to make a name for himself. And that's it. I'm not going to review the whole album. I think you get a pretty good gist of what we're looking at here. I'd give this probably an 8 out of 10. Really, really solid album. This one, along with Marcia Ambrosius Casablanco, two totally coming out of left field albums that have been in constant rotation for me. I love it. I encourage you guys to check it out as well. Let me know what you think if you've been listening to Blxst in the past, or if this is your first time hearing them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got some big ones coming up, including Larry June dropping tonight, August 8th. So that one's coming up next. I'm working my way through the backlog, starting to make progress, and that Larry June one's going to be a big one. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and check us out on the next iTunes.